Forget what the world wants. What do you want? What's your why? What's the reason why you want better from your life? Until you can concretely answer that question, success in anything is going to be very hard to come by. Welcome back to Confident Real Estate. I'm your host, JC. Today, we're going to ignite the fuse on your dreams, and we're going to ignite them like a rocket and accelerate you towards tremendous successes. Because truthfully, if you don't have the right mindset about investing or any of the goals you want to achieve in life, you are never going to get there. It is going to be significantly harder to achieve those goals. But before we teach you how to ignite the fuse on your dreams and get yourself propelled towards the successes you deserve, you got to do me a favor and fire up that like button down below. And if you haven't joined our Confident Real Estate family yet, you might as well hit subscribe while you're at it. It helps the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And I think we provide a lot of great content that you can benefit from as well. What I'm about to say is both brutal and yet the absolute truth, and you need to hear it and understand it. And that is, if your reason for wanting monetary success is flash and ego, you should absolutely expect that you are going to fail. Having nice, expensive things and looking fancy is not going to be enough of a reason to sustain the journey you need to go on to create real long-term wealth, because you're going to suddenly be able to afford something expensive and fancy that you couldn't afford before, and you're going to lose your hunger. You're going to slow down to enjoy that initial success, and you're not going to have the momentum or sustainability to continue to real long-term wealth generating success. You're just going to have a few fancy nice things, and it'll be the beginning of the end for you and your half-planned dreams. The journey to success is never a straight line. It is going to be filled with stumbling blocks and obstacles and failures. And if you don't have a concrete reason why you want to achieve this monetary success, if you don't have a solid foundation for your desires to get to that level you want to be at, then you're not going to have the resolve to pick yourself up and push through the failures to get to those next levels where the bigger successes happen. Because it's the momentum of pushing through failure after failure to achieve a harder earned success each time that will get you to the point you want to be at with financial freedom and real wealth. Fancy things are nice, but have you ever been to a wealthy person's funeral? If you have, did you notice the large moving truck that followed the hearse on the way to the cemetery? If you didn't, there's a reason. Material possessions are just that. You can't take them with you when you're gone. Quite honestly, they have no value. You valued them when you were alive, but they're, for the most part, not assets. They become garbage once you're gone. And you know what else doesn't matter when you're dead? The opinions of what others think of you. Quite honestly, life is far too short, yet there are far too many people who allow the opinions of others to dictate how they live their lives. For better or worse, I quite honestly do not care what anyone thinks of me other than my immediate family. My family is my why. My wife and children, I never want to see them worry about finances the way that I did when I was growing up, watching my single mother work multiple jobs just to make ends meet. I never want to go back to that. So if people don't like me, that's okay. They're entitled to their opinion. I can't spend my valuable time making sure everybody likes me. That's not my job. Sure, I live in a nice big house, but that's only because the area I wanted to live in, which is just outside of New York City, there's only certain houses at certain price points that you can buy. I wanted my children to be in a safe neighborhood that was enjoyable for them and that they would have fond memories of their childhood living in this neighborhood. And I wanted to be just outside New York City. There's only certain homes at certain price points. After that, you got to move further into the suburbs. And quite honestly, I'm at a point where I could afford a house triple the value of the house I now live in. But there's no economical reason why I would do that. It would be solely egotistical for me to go move to some mansion in the burbs. It doesn't make sense. My wife and I have some nice things and we enjoy them, but we set aside a targeted budget every year of an amount that we want to put aside in cash reserves for investment purposes. We don't spend a dime on anything unnecessary or what could be deemed a luxury item before we have set aside those cash reserves for investments. If we haven't set that aside, there is nothing unnecessary to buy. There are no luxury items that will be purchased in this household. It is only after we have set aside large cash reserves for the purposes of investments that we would consider buying an unnecessary or luxury item. And you know what luxury items we buy pretty much each year? Contemporary art from established artists as part of our growing art collection. And guess what? Those are assets because they accrue capital appreciation value year over year. It's a luxury item and it's still an asset. One of the biggest differences between the millionaire mindset and everybody else is that the wealthy buy investments first. They pay themselves first and they buy investments first. Everyone else buys luxuries first. The wealthy only buy luxuries and toys after they've paid themselves and bought investments for the year. If there's anything left over, they'll buy some luxuries. Everyone else buys luxuries first. It is a common issue, and I'm sure you know plenty of people who do it, who want to appear to be in better financial standing than they are. So they buy expensive clothes or cars, and they buy luxury items first before they put any money aside for a rainy day expense. Did you know that almost 50% of households in the United States cannot cover a $500 emergency expense because they don't have even $500 left in their savings accounts, but yet they're wearing $300 belts? It's not really shocking when you think about it that people open up credit cards or cash out the equity in their home not to go put that money into an investment, but to go on a Carnival cruise vacation that they can't even afford. Do you know what the number one product we make in the United States each year is? It's not cars, it's not medicine, it's not clothes, it's not machinery. It's consumer debt. The number one product the United States makes every year is consumer debt, and we make more of it than the rest of the world. And it's been that way for a long time. So how do you go about finding your reason why? I find that it's our natural inclination as human beings to care for each other and want to help each other. And like I said, that's my reason why. I want to support my family. I want my family to never have to worry about finances like I did growing up. But I want my children to not have to start from scratch and struggle like I did. I want them to be able to learn about savings and investing by doing it side by side with me as they grow older. The best way for them to learn is to see me actually taking the steps to do it. I want them to take over the investment portfolio that I am spending my lifetime to build so they can take it to a level that I will never be able to achieve in my own lifetime. And it will provide financial freedom, hopefully, for generations to come of our family. That's my reason why. So, what's your reason why? I also have charitable causes that are very close to my heart, especially for underprivileged children who come from single parent families and for neglected and abused animals. And I want them to benefit from my hard work as well and to leave the world a better place than what it was when I first got here, when I was born, especially for causes like underprivileged children and neglected and abused animals who don't have a voice or an ability to speak out or take care of themselves. So now I challenge you to find your reason why. And I want you to leave any questions or comments you have down in the comments section below. And I would really request that you share your reason why down in the comments section as well, because I want to know what's going to fuel you, what your reason why is that's going to drive you towards tremendous successes in the future. And if you share them with the rest of the Confident Real Estate family, you may be helping another member of our Confident Real Estate family who isn't sure what their reason why is. And seeing yours might inspire them to go find their own reason why. As always, I really hope you got something out of this video. I appreciate you watching it all the way to the end. Don't forget to hit the like button to feed that YouTube algorithm. And if you're not part of our Confident Real Estate family, I really hope you will consider joining us and hitting that subscribe button down below as well. I appreciate it. Until next time.